I have a working theory. Follow along with me as we unpack this working theory. Turkey is widely regarded by the community here and elsewhere as the most insane league, right? The league where, we've got videos of fans chasing players around with corner flags, trying to skewer them like Vlad the Impaler, right? Like, it is insane, which also, that's an incredible historical reference because the Ottoman Empire and Vlad the Impaler fought each other a lot. But now I have to explain it, and it's ruined for the few people that managed to pick up on that just off on the side. But yeah, Turkey, in general, get referees getting knocked out, owners pulling their teams off the field, right? It's considered insane. And as far as top really expensive leagues, it probably is the most insane league. But a lot of crazy stuff happens in South America. Obviously, it's not a monolith. Some of it's in Colombia, some of it's in Brazil, some of it's in Argentina. But recently, even Bolivia with the guy that, pretended he was 12 when he was 17 or whatever. But recently, it feels like there's more. And I can't help but believe that if we had access to more information, if I was fluent in Spanish and was on Spanish algorithms, or maybe even Portuguese algorithms, that I would see more of that. And that a contender for the most, the league with the most tomfoolery would emerge with Turkey. The Brazilian top league obviously produces plenty. But today we're going to a country that we haven't actually spent a lot of time in on this channel, and I consider that a bit of a crime. There's any country that we've ever overlooked, and that's Peru. That we just wanted to include them in the South American thing here. Now, before we actually dive into it, I do want to, this is going to be huge news for everybody, but I do want to point something out. I ran, not the country. I physically ran. I did. I know you guys are very emotionally invested in that. I ran about 5.5 miles for the first time since the marathon. I went for a run. So the bullying, the name calling, the jeering, the jaunting, the peanut gallery, it works. I ran. My legs feel like jello. I've been sore for 2 days, but I ran. Iraq to Afghanistan, which is how you learn the countries across in the Middle East. Anyways, it's actually Iraq, I ran to Afghanistan, and then you run it. Yeah, that's the order. Got that American public school education, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, fucking right. Okay. What happened in Peru? That's what you might be wondering. Well, it required a little bit of Google Translate. So I'm just going to hit you with that Google Translate. This required some rigorous journalism. Do not misconstrue any of what I do for journalism, right? But it required rigorous journalism nonetheless. I Google translated the YouTube caption to a video that I saw on Twitter. So, Sport Joaquia, first with 12 points, defeated Magdalena, CEDEC, who's third with 9 points, so important match. 2-1 in a match for match day 5 of Group B of the 2024 Cosma District League. However, an attempted assault on the referee led to a disturbance and the subsequent suspension of the match at 37 minutes of the second half. Basically, 82 minutes into the game, this match was, they called it a little early. Like that dude having a heat stroke at the AFCON match, just blow the whistle in the 80s and nobody will notice, right? That's what happened. Now, obviously, anytime you see the sentence, an attempted assault on the referee led to a disturbance and a subsequent suspension of the match, you're interested. You're intrigued. So what happened? Well, I've got some fabulous, fabulous news for you. They uploaded the highlights from the Cosma District League on YouTube, and we found them. So this is the challenge that draws the ire. But I want you to appreciate something else before we even get to that. The audio quality of this game. I'm not going to say anything else.
Ahora se viene Jaramillo, señoras y señores. Jaramillo suelta para Zabaleta. Y apareció la pólvora.
I feel like Peruvian God is talking to me. I don't know how they've managed to get reverb, and also like it sounds like they're completely alone with reverb and echoing. I feel like I'm listening to a sermon. This is it's almost spiritual. That goal call, it's almost spiritual. Like that, I mean, that just sounds like a preacher on TV at 3 a.m.
Ahora se viene Jaramillo, señoras y señores. Jaramillo suelta para Zabaleta. Y apareció la pólvora encendida de Billy Zabaleta para poder el segundo. Buen servicio rasante al segundo palo de Jaramillo. Apareció el olfato goleador de Billy.
Banger call, by the way. Love the celly from the dude. Right? Ball under the shirt. Giving it the heart. Love the fact that there's announcers for this game. The vibe in the Cosma District League is electric. Love these announcers. Love the idea of watching a full 90-minute game with this type of audio. I have been watching janky-ass sports and sports streams from all over the world for basically my entire life. And I don't know if I've ever heard anything quite as funny or awesome as the way the audio is set up for this Cosma District League game. But the challenge itself that causes the issue obviously has nothing to do with that goal. It has everything to do with this challenge right here. I showed you that just because I had to prepare you. There's no way I could have just dropped you in blind to that audio and this commentary, this angelic commentary, without a warning. But now that you're a little used to it, this is the challenge. So that's the challenge that ends up causing the problem. And the coach that ends up taking exception is the coach on the guy that received the challenge. Although weirdly enough, the challenge didn't seem to go well for either guy because both of them end up on the ground right after it happens. But it appears as we listen to the angelic voice of our Peruvian overlord here that the referee does not award a yellow card for this particular challenge. Now, after a little while, everybody gets up, everybody's okay, they're setting up for a free kick, even though they're losing 2-1, and then all of a sudden, this happens. Now, the problem is, I don't really know what this is. I have no idea. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't know what his argument is. He seems to be gesturing to a random spot on the field. Maybe they're saying that the yellow card should have been given for that last challenge. Maybe this has to do with something else completely. But whatever it is, the coach of Magdalena is also upset about it. And so the referee from the center of the field comes over to try to give him a red card. And I mean try. Also, I want to take you back to what we were looking at earlier. You know, it said that the an attempted assault on the referee. It was attempted. It wasn't really successful because the ref has something in the bag here. He's coming over to give the red. Here comes the coach. Oh, bring us the stop, bro. Oh, my goodness. It's the ref with the high kick. Unbelievable. And then a dude on Magdalena, and they start to try to square up with the ref, but I don't see what the problem is. The coach is coming in. He's coming in hot here, man. He's coming in hot. He's coming in. Let's see if I can play this at half speed, right? He's coming in hot, right? He's coming in, water bottle in the air, brandishing his water bottle. The assistant can't help out the ref, and the head ref just kicks him. Look, I think this is totally fair. The coach is coming at him at speed, holding his water bottle in the air like a freaking sword, like he's about to do something while he's receiving this red card, and the ref defends himself. The coach is stunned, and the players react in the same way, and the match obviously ends up getting suspended. This is a pretty solid move here by the referee. Excellent self-defense. If you're going to get assaulted as a referee, you got the right to fight back. You know, in Peru, don't mess with the refs. That's rule number 1.